Okay, so this is a VOLTHA TST meeting. Get my brain to shift into gear. Let's see. So Amit and let me see. Gustavo, I guess, will not be joining us today. Gustavo was called out for some emergency meetings that he had to attend. So let's dive right into it. So Holger's back from vacation, and so he may not have any updates, but do you have any recent additions for the Open ONU adapter for Go?
Actually, as already mentioned, it would be nice to be able to test this with a real DPU. I don't know what is the current status of our testbed. I think it's not working yet, right?
Let me see. Mahir, do we have a device that Holger would be able to test on?
Yeah, there was a DPU connected to one of the Berlin sites, one of the ports, but I don't know the current status of it. So I think it's up and running currently. But some jobs in the Berlin site they started to fail from yesterday to when I checked them. So we need to check them why they're failing, if it's hardware related or something. But other than that, I think the DPU is connected and there to test.
Is that the device you were asking me about in Slack?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go try and poke at that after.
Nevertheless, Thorsten made some tests for the new feature, and we found some issue with Turk Telekom scenario with multi UNI. Where when we use 4 UNI ports, it's a full-blown Turk Telekom scenario. So anyway, I have to tweak the patch a little bit. So that means probably some further days to test, and then it would be the next step would be to test at the DPU. Okay, but I think we can shift this issue to the next week and then discuss how to test. Perhaps we have a better picture than in 1 week. I don't know if somebody is still working on the real hardware test stuff, or because I would not know how to start their test at this test bed. Joey, do you already have an overview how to start these jobs?
Still, I know how to trigger some of them, but I'm still digging through. I need to get some time to dig through more of the setup to see what's in there.
Do you want to run some jobs currently are there on the hardware, or you want to write some new tests or jobs running on the hardware?
Actually, it would then be nice to install a master version of the VOLTHA, including an image which contain my latest patch regarding capability check, and then to bring up the DPU, the real DPU, with this patch and see if provisioning is working.
Okay, but the jobs that are now, we have build jobs, some build jobs that prepare the environment. So they deploy for example, for master jobs, they deploy the master, so master of the all components. And if you provide any, other version of any component, it deploys it to the pods. Then it starts some tests, the set of tests, functional tests on these platforms, according to the job you executed. Some of the jobs execute the Deutsche Telekom They run the Deutsche Telekom test. Some of them run the Türk Telekom test, etc. But they are automatic set of tests. So I think you don't want to run this automatic test, but you want to introduce you want to discover your device and provision your OLT, etc. So you want to do the tests one by one, step by step yourself.
Actually not. If we have any tests with the DPU it's already installed, for example, bring the DPU to obviously flows pushed, and then probably have a small data test, plain test. But the data plain test wouldn't be necessary wouldn't so hardly needed, because bringing up the DPU to obviously flows pushed with a correct scenario would already satisfy the test, or will already be the sufficient test environment.
Okay, got it. Any tests, any Jenkins job there will do this test, but additionally they probably do some other tests, data pet test, etc.
Yeah, that is okay. That is
Okay.
would be okay. But the main thing would be to do this with the master and plus my patched image.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, I don't know. I currently, as far as I know, you can introduce your patch to there, but we need to check Joy need to check the jobs if they, they provide this parameter in Jenkins UI so that we can change the components version or not. Other than that, we need to, edit the Helms to deploy a specific version of Holger's component.
Okay.
If the Jenkins job, most of the Jenkins jobs, they open, parameters in Jenkins UI to provide your, components version. So we need to check if these jobs, the Berlin jobs also have this capability.
The question is, do the DPU jobs currently running successfully as a precondition? But okay, perhaps Joe, you can dig a little bit deeper into all the hardware jobs we have, and perhaps you can go through this available jobs later on.
Yeah, that's triaging the jobs and the failures. Yeah, that's one of the things it's on my to-do list. I've got a little bit of it done, but still need some more work. Whoops. Okay. I'm just writing something down. I'll be right back here.
Joey, would it be possible next week to have a look at the existing hardware jobs and see what the current status is?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do with it. Let's see. Okay. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I'll see if I can get some start digging into that then. Okay, so Gustavo contacted me a little while ago. He said he's not going to be able to make the meeting today because they have something going on at Fukurama. But I do have a couple of updates. So his patch and His patch has been reviewed. He did build an image, and we have been trying to run some regression tests against it. I do have a spreadsheet set up with some of the regression tests and current status and status after running the job. If anybody wants to look at it, it's here in the agenda. You may need to request access to it, but that's not a big deal. So this is what I'll do for you. I'll set this up as well, Holger. So this is some of the tests the test suites that we're running for the regression tests. And I just went through and grabbed a baseline of what the jobs were before we tried to run it. Yellow are the jobs that are currently unstable. Some of them are due to, I know there's an EC2 node that's off in the weeds somewhere that I'm still trying to track down. But there are some other problems where some of the tests have passed and some have failed. So we have some intermittent failures here, but this was in the baseline. We did run Gustavo's patch. It seemed to succeed for the most part. And Garish did suggest another option when we were running tests. So a few more unstable failures showed up again. So just have to dig into those and see what was going on in there.
But these are only VBSIM tests, right?
Correct, yes. These were, what this was, we're just starting with, we needed to do regression testing for Gustavo's patch. So we're trying to get together the list of the tests that we needed to run to sanity check it. So that's what these were. But yeah, we need to dig through the whole test suite. I won't go too far off topic here, but there's another tab in here for all of the tests that are in the system. You just basically have to go through and fill this thing out in the same way. Let me see. So failures that have been coming up, I've been trying to open VOLTHA tickets in the VOLTHA JIRA area. Some of them are high level. They're kind of triage, finding a bunch of different failures. Other ones are specific to failures. If anybody wants to grab any of these, feel free to to jump in and grab any of them. Let me see. So Gustavo had another entry up here. We won't be able to get status for it. I'm not sure what the state of this one was. Mahir had go ahead.
What is it?
This
What's
one,
yeah, okay. For this one, Gustavo have patch for VOLTHA RW core and OLT adapter. So please take a look at the patch and review them so that we can merge them. They're ready to review. For the previous one, for the jobs you mentioned, they are, yeah, as you said, they are tested with VBSIM, and there are some unstable jobs, and one of them is this about the software upgrade of ONUA, and the other one is about multi-OLT tests. We need to dig in to find this problem. Holger, I don't know if you will be available to check this software upgrade test VBSIM on the second line, actually, to check what's the problem there.
And actually, the patch of Gustavo, what was the contents of this patch?
It is not about the Gustavo's say patch. Gustavo prepared the patch and did some changes in VOLT application in ONOS. So we took it to regression test with VOLTHA if all the tests still passing correctly. I think these issues that we're seeing, they're not because of the Gustavo's patch, because we were seeing them before the Gustavo's patch. And also we are seeing the same thing after Gustavo's patch. So this is not about the edits he did. So I think there are some other problems in some of our components. So I'll try to dig into this multi-OLT test BVSIM. And I don't know if you have time or any other person have time to dig in this second line software upgrade test BVSIM one. So
Joey, can you go to the test to see the history of the
Sure. Which one?
The second line?
Okay.
second,
yeah.
The first red one at the second line. No. Yes.
Just FYI, the numbers are actually the job numbers in Jenkins, so you can just warp right to them.
Yeah, it's continuously in unstable mode for
Yeah.
weeks. So yeah.
And there are some other jobs that they're primarily green, but we're seeing intermittent failures here and there. Like maybe out of 12 job runs, you'll see 4 to 5 failures spread throughout.
But this is a job which is upgrading software of several components, right? Or
Probably, yeah.
Let's see.
It's I didn't check. I don't know if it's about the ONU software upgrade or it's about the component software upgrade. I don't know.
Actually, for ONU we have a separate test. It could probably this is an upgrade of the images.
Oh, okay, got it. I thought it is ONU software upgrade, so I'll ask to you. Anyway, I mean, if anybody can take a look at this, it will be great. So we have to dig in and find the problems there and make the jobs running, successfully. And other than that, we are also having problems in Berlin side. In Berlin pods, there are hardware tests running. I don't know why they start to fail, so we need to check these jobs also, find the problems there, Joey. So they were running successfully last week, I guess, but only the Türk Telekom test had a problem, and Serkant was working on that, and he upstreamed a patch for that. But now I see that most of the jobs are failing, so we need to also dig in the Berlin pod also. If you can put the Berlin pod jobs also in one of these sheets, Joy,
Sure.
people can easily access them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to the Jenkins UI and click on the tab Community Pod, so you will see the Berlin jobs there. And yeah, community pods on the first line.
Yep.
So there are, yes, Berlin jobs running here. You can see them. Most of them start.
Oh yeah.
All of them started to. Yeah, some of them don't, run because of there are a lot of jobs in the queue waiting. But the executed ones are failed. So we need to find the reason why they started to fail. If you put also these jobs into there, people can access easily. Or as I said, the other way to access is to go to the Jenkins and click on the Community Pods tab and see the jobs there.
I see that in the third line there seems to be the DPU jobs. The FTDB is also not running. The third line.
Yes.
Can you click on this, Joey, on this third line?
Yep.
Yeah, you see there's a DT Volta master FTTB and the master test. Okay, this master one, without test, it deploys the pod and it automatically starts the test one. So if you run the first one without test, then it deploys the pod and runs the _test one automatically. So these ones are, the deployment also fails, not the tests only.
Okay, so you mean already the deployment fails, it does not reach the test at all?
Yes, some of them fails in deployment stage.
That may explain the black X on, generally this black X means that the job was aborted or interrupted for some reason. So if the deployment fails, that, and this job is a dependency, that probably triggered it.
Again, click on that and we can see which stage it's. Yeah.
This one? Or,
yeah.
okay.
Scroll down. Okay. So you see it's fails in the install VOLTHA.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
No, go back.
Yeah.
So steps. So it's in install VOLTHA stage. So the deployment fails here. So it's aborted, probably because of timeout. It took a long time. And the test one probably also aborted because of this,
But then it's not the hardware. There seems to be some issue with the VOLTHA, right?
Yeah, maybe we need to check the logs and see why it's not deployed. If any image is bad or this hardware cannot access the, I don't know, Docker registers to pull some image or something else. I don't know. We have to dig in and check the logs and find the reason.
But it could probably also be that the OLT is not reachable or something like this.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we have to check, as I said.
So we all set on this topic?
Yeah, okay, thank you. As I said, anyone can take any of these jobs and either in Santa Clara site, this BBSIM site, or in Berlin site can take any job and dig in and find what's wrong with the job. It's appreciated, Okay.
And I think Gustavo, for these two patches, he had an open request if anybody had cycles to do any type of testing with it. Looks like Torsten had tested this one patch.
The first one about the VOLT patch, VOLT application removing, flow based. We merged this patch. It's okay. I think there's nothing about Gustavo to do here, but we have to check the other jobs, the two that are failing. We can only leave, this Jenkins job checking issue. We can change the issue to not this one, the previous one. Yeah. So Gustavo's patches merged. It's okay. There's nothing with it. So, but there are some jobs that you put in your Excel sheets. We saw they are in unstable state. We have to check them, and we can change this issue to track the jobs. Not change the Gustavo header to something to check the sanity of the Jenkins job in Santa Clara side.
So since Gustavo's patch does not seem to be directly related to the intermittent failures that existed before his patch went in, we'll track these failures independent of his patch.
Yes, correct.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, these were higher level tickets that were opened, and they were marked as related to Gustavo's patch, but they can be handled independently, and he can close his Jira tickets if he needs to, if he's all set, since it was merged.
Yeah, correct. And for second one, we need review, as I said. The OLT adapter and RW core patches are upstreamed, and we need reviewers there. Okay.
All right, let's see. Okay. So the next item, part and parcel with going through the job failures for the regression testing. I've been going through the release documentation to try and get ready for the December release. I'm just opening higher level tickets, the same thing that was done with the release, or sorry, with the regression testing, just random problems I'm finding, random job failures. They're being tracked within these 3 tickets. So the tickets are kind of like an epic, and there's a bunch of subtasks in here for the individual failures. Some are related to Jenkins nodes, some seem to be intermittent test failures or build problems. Again, if any, I'm going to be working through them, but if anybody wants to grab some of them and start working through it, have at it. The more the merrier on that stuff. Let me see. Okay, so we have a, sorry, is there any questions about any of this? Any of the release items? Okay. As I find things too, I'll try and build out some more of the content on docs.voltha.org. I'm going through the branching and the tagging right now for the release stuff. So we do have a request for to see if anybody wants to work on the VOL 4797 ticket. Provide log configuration APIs for components. If anybody would like to step up and take that. And if not, we can just keep it for next week. Looks like my screen froze. So I guess we can open up the floor. Does anybody have any topics you'd like to discuss or anything you'd like to bring up?
Do you already have a plan when we will have a code freeze for the next release?
I don't know if it's been discussed yet. I think the in the docs it says something like 2 or 3 weeks out, but
the predefined date is 16th of December currently, but we can decide it again if any changes needed. So we need to have enough time to run all of the tests on the components after the freeze until the tagging date. So it's probably takes 2 or 3 weeks. So it's previously told that we will freeze it at 16th of December. So the current date is 16th of December.
This will be the last release with honors, right?
Sorry?
So that will be the last release with honors and VOLTHA app.
Yeah, I
before. I have
what is planned, yes.
Yeah, I've read something about microservices also. Is it another approach than the already existing VOLTHA Go controller, the lightweight controller?
Yes, there is a controller written in Go provided by Redis, open source by Redis. But before having it, we need to take it to some tests. They start to make some tests a few months ago, but currently, I don't know their process currently, but yeah, this should be go through some tests and provide the same functionality and interfaces with ONO, so we can replace it seamlessly. And it also need to fulfill some technical requirements and operators criteria also about the performance and scalability. Previously there was a document released by Andrea, and we had some comments on it as TSP members and community members. So I think we also need to go through this document and finalize it and add this operators criteria and technical requirements into this document also. But yes, the plan thing is having the ONOs last time in a release in 2.11. After 2.11, having a new controller in our CBA environments and in our test systems.
Okay, I think we have to discuss this with Abid, because I think that would also be a lot of test cases to be changed when there's a switch from ONOS to the LWC controller, LW controller.
Yes, we previously talked on that, and we said that we need to find the tests that are using ONOS CLI to check something or to provision something, and we should change these tests to use the VOLTHA APIs directly. So I think some of these has done by Hardik and Girish, but there may be some remaining tests we need to check if they're running with only ONOS or also the new controller. So there might be some test has to be changed, as you said.
Okay, let me see. So does anybody else have anything else you'd like to bring up? And so I guess that'll be a wrap for
Nope.
this week. Whoops, sorry, go. Okay. Okay, well, thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.